All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Thursday, February 20th, set by Panga Kupu. But as perhaps you can tell, it is late at night on Wednesday in the US, but the Thursday crossword has come out. My roof is being replaced tomorrow, so I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a bit noisy all day. So why don't I try and fit in the crossword now? Well, that may be a bit foolish, but let's see how awake I am. All right, Pangakupu, so we can expect a Maori Nina, a hidden message in Maori, but probably won't help. Holy Man, almost completed, kinky epitaphs, capital things. Well, that certainly sounds like the definition at the end, but it's a bit cryptic. Things you would find in a capital city, maybe a specific capital. Stockholm. No, Holy Man. Oh, Holy Man could be ST. Our saint almost completed. Yeah, is it a word for Holy Man that doesn't quite finish? Or does the almost completed apply to kinky? Whatever that could be. And then epitaphs, what would that be? RIPs, tombstones. No, let's try the downs. Go after version of Tosca in formal dress. Well, version of Tosca, I'm thinking, is going to be an anagram of Tosca. And I think a word for go will come after that. I'm seeing we have coat plus S. I mean, if it was the other way around, I would think maybe a waistcoat. Go after. Oh, well, I mean, it could be a word for go after, but that wouldn't be waste. It has to be, sorry, 9 letters, so it wouldn't be that anyway. Well, it could be waistcoat, but we only have one T. Yeah, I don't get that. Excursion, one's taken in a lot of the view. I'm thinking about a vista. Oh, yeah, so if we get a lot of a vista, we have VIST, and if we put a 1 in it, and that would be the letter I, we get a visit. I suppose an excursion somewhere might be a visit. Jury initially, not empowered in China. So I think we're going to put a J. Oh, one across now is looking very funny with that V for our capital things. I don't think it's going to be V something J. But jury initially, not empowered. No. Inclination to write in European city is a local bias. Oh, that's a good one. Local bias, I know in American sports they'll say the local teams broadcasters suffer from, I think they just say localism or something like that. Inclination to write inside a European city. So it'll be a short European city. But I do think local bias is the definition. Now, feature of Roman villa, thus represented with a copy. Could it be a feature of a Roman villa? I don't know my Roman architecture. But I'm thinking represented, we've seen before, can be represented. So it might be thus anagrammed, shut with a copy. Yeah, could it be feature of Roman and then villa thus represented? But that's 9 letters already, so I don't know what with a copy would mean. How about old rhythm picked up in Korean exercise? I think it must be some Asian exercise, something like Tai Chi. It's probably going to start with O for old and then a rhythm reversed, maybe beat backwards. Ota eb, is that something Korean exercise? I don't know it. All right, let's go back to the crosses. Limits time in power, overlooking government crime. I think it's either going to be a crime or maybe a phrase that means limits, like locks up or something. Time would be T, maybe. Could be age or era. Power is usually P, overlooking government crime. No. Opening that is never for supplementary player. Oh my goodness. Oh, I wonder if it could be a starter. And a starter, well, of course, could be an opening for a meal. Also could be a starter for 10 on University Challenge. And a supplementary player, I'm thinking like a sub, would not be a starter. It's one I feel about 50-50 on, but I'll put it in anyway. We'll come back and see if the Downs agree with it. In France, Malbecs served after a second course. What is Malbec? Is it a wine? And then in France would be a vin. But I am wondering if the definition is course, because I'm thinking after a second, after A and S for second. Oh, is it well, I know coat for coat, C-O-T-E. I don't know C-O-T, but Ascot is definitely a race course. Let me pause and look up Malbec. Well, apparently Cot is the original name for Malbec, C-O with a circumflex over the O and T. So I don't know how you pronounce it. Cot. I don't know if you pronounce the T or not. Anyway, so now I'm happy with Ascot. Colin, shivering, reluctant to appear in minimal garment. Well, Colin shivering sounds like an anagram of Colin. And then maybe reluctant to appear. Shy, maybe. And then I think, yes. I was just thinking what a minimal garment is, and I thought of a loincloth and realized, oh yeah, that starts with an anagram of Colin. And then loath, reluctant. All right, turning tense with alarm, mostly unjustified. Tense can be abbreviated to T. With alarm, mostly. Yeah, maybe most of the word for an alarm. And I think we're going to reverse all of that to get a word for unjustified. Don't see it. It produces nothing of note, however plucky you are. Well, I think maybe because I'm doing it late at night, maybe I'm a little giddy or something. Because I read that and I realized it was a cryptic definition, and if you take it literally, it doesn't make any musical notes, no matter how much you pluck it, and that might be an air guitar. Hands up who's played air guitar before. Uh, all right, backed flag about minor abuses. Funny, backed and about both mean reversal, so surely we're going to have maybe a word for flag backwards. It could be a standard, a pennant. To flag can also mean to tire. Of course, the about could be re or on or circa. I think minor abuses is the definition. Maybe just abuses. Maybe minor has to be part of the wordplay. I don't see it. Let me just go back and take a look at my jury. I'm thinking this is going to do with some kind of china, bone china, as opposed to the country. But I don't see it. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I'm very confident in loincloth, so I'm confident in the eye. I'm not confident in starter, so inclination to write. Yeah, I don't see it. Interesting letters here. If it is going to be thus represented, it's looking like that's at the end of the word. So then we might have a feature of a Roman villa in the first five letters, and that then the whole thing is a copy. Um, CHUST at the end. Oh no, CU. Or so, yeah, it could be CH, yeah, UST. Yeah. Don't see it. And ooh. So if the rhythm is picked up and the rhythm begins, no, I think that O is the old, and then we have the rhythm, so it's all picked up. Okay, I'm going to pause and look up Korean exercises. No, I'm not finding any short. Yeah, I was thinking would be some kind of martial art, but I'm not seeing it. I found a lot about K-pop exercises. All right, good topic. After burglary, how stressful is this? That must be the definition at the end, but again, it's very cryptic. Probably doesn't make sense until you solve it. But I think we're going to have maybe G for good and some word for a topic after a word for burglary. Oh, I'm thinking stealing. How stressful is this? Stealing what? Stealing, and then probably G and a topic. Stealing. How stressful is this? Stealing glances, stealing kisses, stealing home. No, I'll leave in the stealing, but let's move on. Oh, those letters don't look right, so I'm not confident in my starter. But I think the others are correct. Well, air guitar, I've no confirmation of that, but all right. Second, nobleman beginning to rule in my homeland. I think it's going to be my homeland, and I'm thinking mother country, mother something. I think a second is a mo. Well, now I'm not sure about nobleman. Yeah, I'm not sure because beginning to rule surely is the R, the beginning letter of rule. Oh, and the nobleman, must be a count. Yeah, that makes sense. Second, oh, I think actually second is not the mo. So funny. I mean, I was running through, well, second can be S, but it can also be mo, and that's what tipped me off. But I think it's other. Other count could be a second nobleman, and the R, and that all goes inside of my, and therefore the definition is homeland. Very clever. Oh, this was the one. Oh, yeah, so it's not the starter. Opening that is never for supplementary player. No, I don't see it. Yeah, let's go back to the acrosses. Oh, that was the backed flag. Oh, maybe we literally put the word flag backwards and it goes around a word for minor to mean abuses or abuses. Don't think so. Body temperature at a rough estimate. Well, I'm thinking your body, the main part of your body could be the torso. Yes, a temperature is T, and then at a rough estimate, you might say, oh, it's about 100 or so. That's clever. Speaking of clever, has cleverer ideas than vote losers linked to markets. I think the definition might be has cleverer ideas, because I can't see how that would be wordplay. But I can see it's going to be maybe something like outthinks. Yeah, has clever ideas than. And so vote losers linked to markets. I'm wondering if vote losers are out, or even outs plural. The parties that are voted out. Is that right? I don't like it. But it would mean stealing GO. How stressful is this? Let me pause and sip my coffee and think about stealing goats. No, nothing coming to me there. All right, question about including Italy gets key support. Yeah, I'm not sure where the definition is there. Is it support, key support, or question? Question about sounds like well, I was going to say it sounds like wordplay, but I think it would be duplicative because putting a word for question about something, then why would you say including Italy? Including Italy to me sounds like we're going to put an I inside of something. No. Mark's comments about children. Yeah, again, I've no idea where the definition is there. Less quiet, backed change, suppressing volume. I think less quiet is the definition, but there's a question mark. But I think we're going to put a word for change backwards, and that's going to go around, I think maybe just V for volume, or VOL. Less quiet. Why does it have a question mark? But I do think it's going to be an RE. So then the word for change is going to start with RE. And we're going to have a V in there somewhere. No. I may as well finish the crosses. Loosely tethers single dog. Oh, I'm wondering if loosely could be an anagram indicator, because very helpfully tethers is 7 letters and single is 6, so it matches our answer exactly. What breed of dog is there? Oh, I think we have a setter. I think we have an English setter. Growing up, we had 2 Irish setters, or red setters, living beside us, with their owners, of course. Shem and Rua. They were great dogs. Don't think I know an English setter. I must look them up. I'm sure they're lovely as well. All right. Area taken from lobby, quiet room, largely displaying success. Oh my goodness. Well, I think area is going to be A, and we're going to take that a word away from a word for lobby, which could be a room, a lobby, or it could be the verb to lobby. Quiet could be P for music, or it could be SH, telling someone to hush. Room, I don't know what room is going to be. Oh, maybe room largely. Might be just ROO. Displaying success. No. Wise words, Miss Oprah, broadcast. Well, broadcast is a well-known anagram indicator, and Miss Oprah has 9 letters, meaning wise words. Oh, I think we have aphorisms. There we go. That's a good one to get, I think. Own goal, perhaps, is transfixing half of team in scare. Own goal, OG, but I think it would be an example of a self-inflicted error. Is that the definition? Some word for a mistake? Is transfixing... I don't know what transfixing is. Half of team, presumably, is going to be TE or AM. Inside a word for scare. Terrify. No. Some orbit it and a satellite. Well, there's a hidden clue within orbit it and. We have Titan, which is a moon or a satellite of one of the planets. We'll leave it at that. What regularly rises is rising, doing for cavity. Well, the sun regularly rises, so if that rises, yes, would be reversed as NUS, but we also reverse is, and we get sinus. We had a very similar clue recently, I think, which probably helped me get that one. Abandon, importing large quantity of bedding. All right. If you abandon, maybe you quit, and that imports L for large to give us quilt. Yet again, the last clue turns out to be one of the easiest. Oh, and there's our question. I'm wondering if about is on and we, including Italy, gets key support. Yeah, I don't know what word this would be. I mean, QAnon fits, but there's nothing in there that suggests QAnon. I'm wondering if it's a musical term, key support, or something to do with locks. I mean, is Italy IT? I mean, if funny to have. So maybe question is QU on and it includes Italy. Let me look up this word quion and see if that is a thing. It is something to do with a solid exterior angle of a building, and it could be part of the key of an arch. So that all makes sense. All right. Ooh, less quiet, I suppose, is noisier. So backed change, suppressing volume. So I thought suppressing was going to mean going around, but it means removing here. Change is revision. So we have revision backwards, but we take away the V for volume. That's good. All right, I'm not getting any more letters for this one. Own goal, perhaps. Is transfixing. Oh, maybe that just means going inside. Oh, hold on. I think I spelled my Koyon wrong. I only realized that because I wanted terrorize to work. There we go. All right. I think the own goal is a terror with is. Is literally is, and they transfix or go inside half of the word team, the T and the E, and that means to scare. I got there in the end. Ooh, how about outsmarts? Yes, so outs must be vote losers, and then markets are marts. Very good. This was Mark's comments about children. The wordplay sounds like a word for comments goes around children, but I don't see it. We do have a nice M there for success, I suppose. Are displaying success. Area taken from lobby. Quiet room. Largely. So maybe it's P for quiet, and then most of a word for a room. I think that's going to end in an L, maybe a hall, HAL. All right, I paused there to sneeze and to have some of my coffee. And I looked again at 14 across where I thought it might end in a T. So I said, well, then what lobby word might start with T? But then I thought, oh, maybe it's AT. And I thought of an atrium. And so that gives us a nice TRIUM. P is quiet and the room is a hall. Yeah, I honestly had no idea that HAL was the ending. Didn't make sense at the time, but all right. So a little hunch paid off there. So what is then? I think it's tense and then a word for alarm. There's probably 5 letters ending in I something. Oh, panic. Ah, yes. I think inapt. I wouldn't have thought inapt meant unjustified. I think inappropriate, inapt, uncalled for maybe, but I don't, to me, unjustified means something completely different. But what are you going to do at 8:30 on a Wednesday night? All right, here's our backed flag about minor abuses. Oh, maybe it's a word for backed. Could have ended like ISHED. Garnished. Flag about minor abuses. Yeah, I don't see it. I wish I could get my how stressful is this? I mean, I've confirmed the I for inapt, I think. Um, let's try our limits. Time and power overlooking government crime. Yeah, I don't see it. Our holy man, yeah, has a V there. I saw that earlier, but capital things. Is there another holy man other than a saint that might have a V in it? And what's kinky? Crooked, twisty. No. Oh, yeah, this is looking like it might end in an anagram of thus. So, yeah, I don't think SUHT is right. So I think it must be HUS. Thus represented with a copy. I can't see any word that would match that. Because I don't think the definition can be feature of Roman villa. I don't see how we would have the thus anagram after a copy, which could be a clone, I suppose. No. That's our opening. That is never for supplementary player. Oh, maybe I do need to put sub in there somehow. Subutio. No, I think I'm going to have to go to wordplays.com soon enough. We do have an H now for marks. Comments about children. Oh, children might be CH. That makes sense. And so I think the definition is going to be marks. And what are comments? Oh, notes. Ah, of course, and so notches. There we go. Maybe it's not after burglary. Yeah, something going, maybe? Yeah, what could this be if it wasn't a G at the beginning? Can I think of a good word? Maybe for abuses or abuses? Does five down look like it could end in S? Not really. Yeah, I'm thinking it might be like a Latin phrase for when in Rome or something like that. Memento mori, o tempora o mores or something like that. Let me pause and just see if I can make stealing work. Let me get rid of that G. All right, well, I didn't spend very long trying to think of it, and I gave up and I went to wordplays.com. Yeah, I completely threw myself off on the wrong wavelength by thinking about stealing. It's actually a break-in is the burglary, then my G for good. Now, this is the part I don't really agree with, that topic is point. To me, a point is something, an argument that is made during a discussion of a topic. Although I suppose maybe on an agenda, is that the thought? There might be some points we need to go over, so I suppose it works as well as anything. Anyway, stressful is breaking point. Unfortunately, that does mean the G is right. Oh my goodness. Backed flag. I don't see how we can have the word flag backwards around a word for minor. Yeah, don't see it. All right, breaking point does give us an R here. Limits, time and power, overlooking government crime. No, don't see that one. Still don't know my holy man capital things. Well, capital, I suppose, literally would be to do with the head. But I can't think of any good things to do with the head with a V there. That was our jury in China. Not empowered. Oh, China, of course, can be your friend, China plate mate, our pal. Initially not. Ah, I think it's a real stretch, but I'm just thinking because we have many times before seen China equals pal, then maybe initially not empowered is NE inside of pal. Ah, yes, a panel. Funnily enough, I had it reversed in my mind and I was thinking penal, which is to do with the legal system, but no, a panel is definitely a jury, yes. That's very tricky. All right, capital things. Yeah, what I often do when I look at a word like this, I imagine where the vowels and the consonants go. For some reason, that helps me. I mean, that must be a vowel there. I'm thinking it's consonant, vowel, consonant like an N, but I can't think of anything like conva. Could be core. No. I think I'm going to go to wordplays.com for this one. I'm just completely at a loss. Oh my goodness. Well, part of this I definitely should have worked out that Kinky is telling us to anagram epitaphs at the end. And the definition, capital things, it is things that go on your head. But, I feel a little cheated because I did think of capital in relation to the head, but I merely think medical terms, parts of the head, but it's just things you wear on the head. I think there could have been, I don't know, capital adornments or something to give us a clue. Anyway, after beating around the bush, it is stovepipe hats. Holy Man is Saint, ST. Completed is over, almost completed is OVE. And then we have our kinky epitaphs. Wow. All right, so to go after somebody is to tail them. Yes, I should have definitely thought of tailcoats earlier as formal dress. Yeah, yeah. Oh, limits. I think might be reigns in power, overlooking government. I think power is reign, REIGN, but we overlook or take away the G for government, and then crime is sin. All right. All right, inclination to write in European city is a local bias. Pepsi Cola. I wonder if the European city is Paris. Yes. There is. This French phrase parti pris, which I think. So I think the definition is bias, but in a local language that is suggested by the wordplay, which is putting. Tip, I think, is the inclination. Tip plus R to the right, inside of Paris. And then the bias, I think, is parti pris. All right. Ooh, feature of Roman villa, thus represented with a copy. So maybe we have the thus at the beginning. Yeah, with a copy. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think I'm just going to go ahead and reveal this one. Well, I'm glad I did. So I presume that's a Roman Latin word, hypocaust. So something to do with a Roman villa. We do have. Yeah, so it's an anagram of thus plus a copy. All right, but that's a new one on me. All right, old rhythm. I think I'm going to go with Tabo. I think I have heard of that. So it's old beat, backwards. Did I even? I think I had O at the top and then beat reversed, but table. I think I have heard of that one, all right. Okay, opening that is never for supplementary player. Um, yeah, I'm not getting that word at all. I'm going to go to wordplays.com for this one, I think. Well, I'm glad I went to Wordplays for this one. Actually, I could have just revealed it too. Apparently, there's a musical term, ripieno, meaning all together. So I don't know if it's just yeah, a cryptic definition. No, I don't think so. I think that is, might be IE. Oh, yeah, an opening I think is a rip. That is IE, and never is no. All right. So supplementary player, well, that's not the definition I saw for it, but who knows? Who knows? All right, just one left, thank goodness. Backed flag about minor abuses. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be ISHES, not garnishes. Could be IC, but I'm trying to get the wordplay then. I'm wondering if minor abuses, could that be sick? Like six? No, that's definitely an H, but I'm going to put in gasages. We'll check that one. No, let's reveal it. Oh, gaslights. Of course. Um, oh, yeah, I should have thought of that possibility. IGHTS, yeah, of course. So, backed flag. I think flag is to sag. I think if your energy is flagging as mine is as we speak, it would be sag. And minor is slight, which is turned about. So I was right to spot backed and about both being reversal indicators. They each refer to a different word. And abuses is gaslights. Well, it's a very, very specific form of abuse to gaslight somebody. All right, let's check all. Everything is still there. I don't think the 15 squared blog will be there yet. That's the problem with doing it late at night. So well, funnily enough, I didn't write down any that I didn't fully understand. There were a few where I didn't fully understand the word, like a hypo. Yeah, let me pause and look up hypocaust for you. Yeah, apparently the hypocaust is underfloor heating in a Roman villa. And I did look up ripieno, and it does apply to supplementary instruments that come in and bulk up the playing at times. But otherwise, I think I understood the wordplay in all of those. But if I made any mistakes, please let me know in the comments. All right, well, thank you as always for watching, and have a wonderful day.